Now, like I keep telling you, even on the Maury show, or right, they have cases where, guess what? The DNA test showed it wasn't who thought they were the fathers, maybe too, right? And who the girl said was the father, right? So when my son tells me something like that, I'm like, what? You know, because I never thought that till again he acted like he got the DNA test too. But I can't do nothing about it, right? Whether it's true or not. But then you gotta wonder, is your son lying to you now, right? What's going on there? Who put him up to it if he is, right? And again, right, there's still nothing I can do about it, right? You know, it's years later, it's right. I did marry Daphne, we did get a divorce, right? All that's relevant too, right? But you keep pretending I'm not a real person. I can't talk about my real life when I can't. No. Why can Prince Harry do an autobiography as well on himself, right? Or Prince William, right? Uh, but now, if he don't want that getting out, he's not going to be more willing to do an autobiography, is he? No. But see, you can't do a biography on someone without their what? Permission, right? And you got to fact check your sources, right? Now, like I told you about Ben, you also got to tell me when you met Ben, right? Even if you never did and they're making it up. But, especially if you want to write a book about it. Or no. Unless it's an autobiography, right? See, my autobiographer was smart in that he only used first names, right? He didn't use full names, except for mine, except for yours. Read the book. Though one has a big Rod or a Marceline, or right? Unless you're French, maybe. It's a French name, right? Unless Mima made it up. You've heard the term Mima before. That's what some people in the South call a grandma, right? Even young Sheldon, for example, or Sheldon, right? I know. Though he's from where? Arkansas, I guess. I guess, right. Wherever it is in the Big Bang Theory, right? But so can I, so can you. It's a common terminology, and you don't own it, just because you copyright it in a movie or a show, right? That's what you're acting like. You own it. Only you can now use this phrase, and no one else can ever use that phrase in a movie, right? But you, no. In other words, if I say violets are red, right, roses are red, violets are blue, and everybody can say that phrase, right? But what you can't say, right, I don't know, right, is some people just don't have a clue, right? Even if another celebrity can say the same thing, right? Do you own that phrase? No, not. Can anyone make that up as a phrase, right? Yeah. Why can't they? Freedom of speech. What does that mean? You have the right to say something you heard in school or in class, or right, and you can repeat it, right? It becomes in a common phrase, right? I know. See, the danger with copyright laws, you think you own the phrase when you don't, right? You don't own that phrase. That phrase existed before you came into existence, right? And even after, right? It's like any word you use in a movie, like even the N word, when Nick Nolte used it on Murphy, or Murphy used it on himself, even, right? It's cause it, by that time, was a common word, right? Now, what you're trying to do is take control of the word, right, and make it something positive, right? Even with the N word, right? But we all know the N word, right? We're all grown up, north, south, east, and west, hearing the N word. No. White or black, right? Or black. Which is what N word supposed to be, right? Exactly. Yeah, no. And it seems like, you're more offended because white people know it rather than black people know it, or where its roots are, which is Portugal, actually, right? And Nigeria, right, could be called that, I guess, right? You're just doubling the G, right? I don't know. Right. But it is just, again, a common word, right? That some people don't want you to say anymore. So, again, how do you work that out? You don't say it to everyone. He's not the father. He's not the father. Or he is the father, right? Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Was there another man? Right. Well, why is she bringing a tarot card reader to our, hotel room? A female one, right? And I didn't ask for one. I didn't ask to get my tarot read. But there again, I did the reading because she brought it there, right? And then I got undressed under the covers. I know. Why did I do that? Because I felt a little uncomfortable, right? I don't normally have tarot card readers in the hotel room, right? You usually go to them if you want to see one yourself, right? But that don't mean nothing happened or whatever, right? And again, right? Mm-hmm. But then she left. I guess. Which, that's something odd to me, right? I didn't really know that part of Daphne's personality, right? Though again, you don't know, Daphne from Scooby Doo either, or someone else named Daphne, or right? Daphne is a common name, right? Especially with it being the name of a character, right? On Scooby Doo, right? And guess where they got it? A list of names. You could name a daughter, right? It did. Shane is on that list, right? For a name of a son or a daughter, right? And you can spell it differently too. You can even spell it with a Y, and it's still Shane, right? But no E at the end, right? SHAYN is still Shane, right? Mm-hmm. Or SHEN if the E sounds like an A, right? Or has one of those French hats on it, you know what I mean? And, Ami, I don't know. Right. But it's part of the whole point, right? Now I'm faced with another dilemma. Was my son ever my son, right? Or is someone making him say all this to me, right? Like his granddad or someone who he's now associated with, right? Are they tempting him, right? Well, again, right? Is it him even coming to YouTube? That's going to make me wonder that too, right? Though how could he do it when he's, no more than 11, 12 years old, right? I don't know. And he has to be taken somewhere or do it in school or, right, to do it, right? Especially if it's during the week or something, right? Or during daytime, right? And he's got to go to school, and he's got to go to school. At least I think so, right? Even in Arkansas, right? Right. So now there's a new problem. Now all of a sudden, the woman I thought had my baby may have never had my baby. Right? Oops. Someone did it again. Someone's playing with my heart. Someone's trying to change the story, right? And I don't know who, and I don't know who or why. It's just making me wonder again, right? Was I lied to again, right? Though didn't lie myself, though didn't lie yourself. No. And see, then you got to change your whole outlook towards the boy, right? Exactly. And look at him as if he was never your son, right? That's what you're doing, right? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Whether he did the DNA test and that was the true results or not, right? See, I didn't see the results, right? He just told me those were the results. See, that's hearsay, you know. And, but then someone put him up to it, like his mom or his granddad or his grandma or his sister, right? And I don't know. Or is it true, right? See, there you go again, right? And that's the problem, right? See, it's like with even Mary Bella's child, right? Same problem there. When she said he wasn't mine and he's 2 weeks late, I can't say he is or isn't either, right? I don't know. So did I never have a child? Maybe I'm a virgin. And that I just had sex with women but never a child, right? I don't know. But of course, if you're playing the field, you know only one person can finally get you pregnant, right? If you get pregnant, right? But who that would be ain't perfectly determined anymore, right? Especially if a child can be a low birth weight baby, period. Either way. Though Jonathan was fully at least 7 pounds, 8 ounces or more when he was born, right? So that's all I know about it. Whoever she was with, it must have been just before she was with me, right? I know. But when you're having sex with someone, they don't have a number counter to tell you how many partners they had before they were with you, right? And that's the point too, right? And it's all crazy, and it can be. I just know I had sex with Daphne for all that time too, right? Off and on. Don't mean she didn't cheat on me then, right? I just don't know. Or I didn't do something with the tarot card girl if she brought her back or something. Then I don't remember that. Maybe she let me out, right? I don't know. Don't mean she killed me, but means she hit me over the head with something. And again, I'm guessing that too, but like I said, right, she brought her once to our motel room, right? Which was during the 30 days or so, or shortly after we got married, before we could get into an apartment, right? We would go to the motel room sometimes, right? And this was one near base, right? And it was at least before April, I guess, right? Between March and April, right? And we met in February, right? See, I'm giving you details too, right? Yeah, as much as I can remember, anyway. And like I said, right, there's no magical counter on a person to let you know they're cheating on you or not. You just hope they don't, right? Though if someone gives you a menage a trois and you don't know you had one, right, that's different too, right? But there again, you don't suspect you even had one, right? But that again don't make you gay or straight or, right? If you had the same problem with the shipmates, right? They too have to attack you because you're threatening to turn them into the, authorities or whatever they are on the ship. Yeah. So even the ship has security, or if you got to report something's going on, right? And see, they just, to me, wasn't training me, right? And I just didn't know what to do about it, right? And I was feeling kind of isolated, right? And that they didn't want to work with me, right? But that's all I ever said is, I went to sleep at the proper time between 11 to 7 in the morning. I sometimes skip breakfast, so I was not eating breakfast, but lunch and dinner I would eat. So I was eating at least 2 meals a day, right? Lunch and dinner, right? On the ship, right? These are just more minor details I probably didn't bring up till now either, but they do make sense, right? That's another thing, right? If you're talking about something I'm not familiar with, all I got to do is say, well, no, I don't remember it that way, right? Exactly. And if you try to change my story without my permission, right, it's still under the same heading as Dracula. When Bram Stoker wrote about Dracula, that was a real historical figure he wrote about, right? But he also changed the nature and made the man a vampire, right? Which ain't a real thing. I don't know. But that's what makes it fictional and historic, right? See, I can also do a Dracula thing, right? But let's say I make him a werewolf, right? I told you this before, right? Or just a ghost-like figure, right? Or someone who was resurrected from the dead like Jesus even, right? Yeah. Okay, but still human, right? But again, I'm just making up a variant story, right? Because his death was shrouded in mystery, right? And what happened to his body, like with Jesus' body, right? Or did someone do that on purpose, right? I don't know. Right. There you go again, right? You were not witnesses to any of that, though, right? Ben has to actually tell you something. You can't make it up. He told you something. And only you would know, or Ben would know, if you're making it up, too, right? And when did Ben tell you? I got a right to ask that, right? Was it in 93? Was it in, right? What year was it then, right? See, I'm giving you details that I don't remember that encounter, right? And why I wouldn't remember that encounter is I wasn't trying to have gay sex, right? At all, in the Navy. Even if it's legal now, right? I wasn't then as well because I knew it was against the rules, right? See, some people have a problem following the rules. Not all people, that, right? They don't follow the rules. And that's why sometimes they get in trouble if they get caught for not following the rules. Exactly. And then it's your word against my word. And if you're saying Ben is telling you that, his word too, right? But if it's not Ben telling you that, it's just your word, right? See, that's how autobiographies work. The person telling the story has the right to tell you what happened, not you. Not you. You're an outside party, right? You weren't there on the ship. If you were, you're changing the story again, where I don't remember that encounter, right? And that's also inferring we fought over it, perhaps, right? And they blacked me out, right? Which, whether they raped me after they blacked me out, I don't recall that either. But, I also remember going to sleep and waking up in my bunk, right? Again, right? Though after a while, they're not even waking me up for muster, which is weird, right? Or to, assemble on the deck of the ship, right? Which is what muster is, right? And you do that by a certain time, like 8 in the morning, for example. Now you have from 4 to 8 to get up, right? Right. If no one wakes you up, then you're on the 12th floor, right? See, I can tell you all that up to that point, right? What I don't recall is being woken up as I was doing the watch either, right? or taken somewhere else by being or going somewhere with you voluntarily. Right. See, I can counter what he said, that you said he said, without, again, knowing he even said it to you. Right. Confusing so far? Yeah. Right, right. And I can say you're fictionalizing my story as an autobiography, right? Because I'm the real Shane Everly, right? That's my full name. Does that have something to do with something? I'm asking you a question. Does that have something to do with something? Is that, again, why you're acting weird about my name, right? You are in New York and Hollywood. No, that ain't not me. No, not Jane Everly. Not Jane Everly, right? That's my full name. No, that's been nice. Don't know any other name for me. The only thing I know of is the soundboard, right? Is a recording device, right? But that's some of my name, right? That's some of your name. I know. I also heard it don't matter if you are talented or not, they can make you a star, right? If you just can get to them. But you might have to trade something for it, like sex, right? And see, that's why, again, I don't know. I don't know if it's true or not, right? But that is toxic masculinity. And if a female makes you do it, right? Femininity, right? Like I keep telling you about Kim Kardashian's Playboy being missing from the house, right? Though Kim can date any man she wants. She's trying to date another fella now all of a sudden, right? Well, she can, right? I can't date someone or whoever I want. Right? Now, Kim, of course, can, but that don't mean I can prove anything just because the Playboy is missing along, right? But now she's dating someone else suddenly, right? In the spotlight, right? After I started mentioning it again, right? Now, is that coincidental? Does that have to do because she took it or someone else she knows took it? Or, I know. Who's telling her about it? I'm not talking to her. But on YouTube. And unless you're downloading my video and sending it all over the place without my permission as well, I don't know you're doing that either. You can do that too, right? Now, if they wanted to, see like that screen behind Victoria there? I guess that's her name. That's not real. That's not real. That's a green screen, right? That just is what appears to be a map of the Savannah area. Mm-hmm. Showing the different temperatures of Savannah. Mm-hmm. But there's nothing really there but a screen. But it looks like she's in the scene. In the scene, right? Exactly. Now that don't mean I think me and Victoria did anything ourselves, but again, right? I know. Shit. But like the people you see in your neighborhood each day, like if I go to the store, right, and I buy certain things, like I'm preparing for not just this month, but next month, right? So I buy some vegetables still, I buy it, right? And some cookies or, right, whatever I feel I need, some meals, right? And it's all to make it to next week, right? Right? So I go on, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I can't prove anything, right? But I can't let you do something illegal either, right? But if you do it, I don't know you did anything right. At the same time, too, right? But I do know someone helped me write the book that was produced, right, in 2011, yeah. But it wasn't me, but it wasn't you. He even paid for the publishing, right? Which is how he's my ghostwriter, right? And wrote it for me, right? And he had my permission to, right? Though I admit I didn't read the whole thing perfectly, but enough to get the gist of it if you got the gist of it, which that's why I agreed to it, right? And I told my mom that too, right? So she knows it's his version of my story, and he kind of took some liberties there, but I know she also knows it's the general story, right? But who's Big Rod to you? Do you know a Big Rod? I know a Big Rod. I know a Big Rod. That's a rod and not a rod, but that's a big rod. That's a big rod. Or a little rod. There's such a thing as a little rod. Even a Roddy Piper. Right. And even Crutchfield is a magazine having to do with stereos or something. So that's, again, right, two words, crutch and field, that might could be a last name or not, right? What do you know about it, right? But of course, again, right, some people, if that is your name, would have a problem with the name being so uncommonly used. And where did it come from, and where was its origins even, right? And it seems like almost any name I heard somewhere before, right? Even my own, even your own. King Edward and Shane Edward Lee, and then the cowboy movie Shane, and then the series Shane, right, with David Carradine and Alan Ladd, right? And it's the Irish version of Sean and John, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm 29% Irish, right? I know, right. But not full Irish, and I've never been to Ireland, and I don't know who my families are, but they're Skinners, right? Maybe. Maybe they were tied in the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. I don't know. Rub it up dub, 3 men in a tub, you know. We've all heard that growing up too, right? Right. I know. But then you're doing what? Trying to control the music. Right. Mm-hmm. And who can sing it, and who can even sing it. So that's the only thing copyright does, is if you come up with it first, you're saying you're the only one who can sing it or say it, right? Which ain't how music works, I know, right? So right away, you're stealing the music yourself, right? Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. Because you're saying only you could come up with it when you just came up with it first, right? You're not. Whoever's telling you are is selling you a pipe dream, right? Because you're older than someone else, right? But you don't think another African American or even a white person can imitate you, right? Sure we could, right? Where do you think we all come from if we're all related? Just some of us adapted to the land we lived in. Is Africa a hot climate like Australia? Mm-hmm. Does both Africa and Australia have dark-skinned people? Yeah. But did the Africans go to Australia, or the Australians Africa? Maybe. Or maybe not. But there's two continents that are considered similar, but thousands of miles apart. Mm-hmm. But both have black-skinned people. Mm-hmm. Or dark-skinned people. Mm-hmm. Then is it the climate so much as, right? And not, again, right? If you're in a cooler climate, you have lighter skin, right? A warmer climate or tropical climate, you start getting darker, right? Though you still might not be black. as African or Aborigines. Damn. Do you understand? Right. But we're all one people. All from common ancestry. Right. Did my cousin get Daphne pregnant? I don't know. Right. Or one of them, maybe. Right. Not knowing we were even related. I don't know. But the DNA test I took in Georgia, they reported back he was my son. So that's, again, what I'm telling him again, right? Maybe they messed up the DNA test, right? I don't know. Right. And see, this would have happened when he was 6. Right? By 2000, not 2000. And see, all he would do is go into a room, they would swab his cheek, and that's it. Son, you think you're going to remember everything from when you were 6? I don't know either. No. Do you remember going to the dentist? Or did she take you to the dentist? I don't know. I'm asking you. I don't know. Did she take you to a doctor's appointment when you were 6? She should have. Did you get your shots? I know. See, they're supposed to give you shots when you're growing up, too, right? Did you get those? Or do you remember getting those, right? So I can ask you, too, right? I'm not acting weird about anything, but I'm the disabled parent who went disabled before you were born. Both mentally and physically, by the way. That's all I can tell you, too, right? Bye.